Hello, you great big bushy beard! Jim Sterling here, and this is Girl Amazon Survival. Now, we first covered this in the Best of Steam Greenlight Trailers series, where it looked somewhat hilarious. It seemed to be about a girl in a bikini fighting bears, as you do. Now, things appear to have changed since we first saw the original trailer on Steam Greenlight. The graphics have been improved, if you can believe it or not. They were worse than this. Now, one other thing that's interesting me here is that despite all of the promotional materials showing that you are playing a girl in a bikini, she ain't in a bikini, and you can be a male character. It's called Girl Amazon Survival, but you could be Shitty Leon here. So we could be Bad Leon, but I think I'm going to stay true to brand. It's Girl Amazon Survival, so I'm going to survive in the Amazon as a girl, thank you very much. Here we go. We got different hair. Start with no hair. Get a little bit of Sinead O'Connor going. Whatever that is. Also that. Some hair that's growing out of her face. Like, actually just jutting out, like weird spikes there. 5, 6, 1. None of those hair options look good, so I'm going with the Caillou fashion. Let's go with face. Not much of a difference. What the fuck? That's got a... Oh, I think that was the original. Yeah, sorry, it was just in such stark contrast to the others. Compared to the others, that's like a grey alien. Yeah, I'll just go with default. I guess that'll... What the... Oh, okay, we can look. Oh, look at that. That's too close to that dead mannequin face. Let's just save and get on with it. Single player, there's multiplayer. Good God. Are you awaiting exciting adventures in the jungle, in the abandoned cities, and in the caves, which are full of all mysticism and horror? Full of all Yeah, I read that bit right. I didn't read this bit right. I think I read this bit as a question. Anyway, let's just play it. Can't wait. Now, the screenshot showed a first-person perspective, whereas the original Greenlight trailer was in third-person, so there's definitely been changes made. Sometimes you look at a bad-looking Greenlight game and they've... Oh, no, there we are, it's third-person. Okay, so they didn't make that dramatic a change. Find painkiller. I'm sure there's some ibuprofen just hanging out. What's this circle here? Well, we picked it up, whatever it was. So we have a range of guns. Got ourselves an assault rifle, a rock, a bag. For a survival game, it's actually given us quite a few tools. Whoa, 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 what the... Zombies. I don't remember zombies in the original Greenlight trailer. I'll have to go back and rewatch that and see. Okay. Oh, god damn it. Okay, well, that didn't work. Okay, we've got a bit of a twig. Okay, let's hit them with a bit of a twig. We died. We died, friends. That didn't go well for us. But that's fine. It's fine. Let's start again. Okay, now she's wearing no clothes and has nothing. Now this is looking more like the Girl Amazon Survival that I first witnessed. But we got a rock. This will protect us against the zombies. I don't remember zombies. I thought it was more of a straightforward survival game. Bears are what I remember from the original trailer. What kind of fucking water is that? Is going on over there? How deep can we go? We can swim! The game has swimming. Fancy that. Look at that. It's a full island adventure for us. We are adventure girls together. What a great time we're having. Back on land. Okay. Is find painkiller still an objective? I don't know. Okay, the game just auto-saved. So we're locked into this. It's 30 degrees. We have 1,000 copyrights, I'm guessing. I mean, that's the copyright symbol next to that 1,000 in the little survival box. Maybe it's my YouTube channel saying that it has 1,000 copyright claims on it. My fucking trailer reaction video to Metal Gear Survive was copyright claimed last night. Pissed me off. Not by Konami though, oddly enough. By some company I'd never heard of. Gooper or something. I'm trying to work out whether or not it was because of the laughing policeman, but I'm not sure. Either way, you know, I've submitted my appeal as normal, which will probably just get ignored. That did really well, that did. You know, I don't do what I do for the money, exactly. But the ad-supported content I do, the non-Jimquisition branded stuff, that's what buys me alien toys and boglins and things, shit and tat. And it helps with the taxes as well, which is the most important aspect, because I get a lot of tax that I have to pay. So when stuff like that's claimed, it's not the end of the world, you know. I'm going to pay my bills, but it's very annoying. You know, I have a lot of luck in that regard. It's a village. You know, some poor fuckers on YouTube, that's there. We're picking up entire logs. Yeah. You know, some poor fuckers on YouTube, all they have is YouTube for their money. You know, YouTube ads. I don't think this is a very effective means of combat. I'm gonna run. Let's, can I drop? There we are. Okay, let's get out of here. I need a gun. I need that gun again. That's about how generous the game was, giving us all survival stuff right to begin with. And that didn't last, did it? Are these gonna get up, do you think? I don't know. But we need a real weapon, because I really do not like how these icons for pickups are visible through goddamn effing walls. That one, oh no, no. Oh no, persistent little fucks. Get out of my way! Oh. Blah. Blah. Wasn't very good. Well, shit. This isn't going well. And I consider myself, despite my reputation and the whole Jimquisition thing, I consider myself a fairly humble individual. I consider myself a man who cops to mistakes. I think you'll find in history I've copped to a lot more mistakes than a lot of people. I try wherever possible not to double down if I fuck up. I don't dark side fill it, is my general philosophy. Never DSP it. Occasionally I'll polygon it, but when I polygon it, I won't DSP it, and I'll admit that I polygoned it. And all that's to say, I don't think the two ignominious... I was going to use a big word, I know, and then I forgot how to fucking pronounce it. I'll just go with ignoble. It sounds similar and means, you know, more or less. It gets the same point across. What was the point? I started talking about this 5 minutes ago. I'm Ross Noble in it right now is what I'm doing. Anyway, the point is what the fuck is that dildo zombie man? He is the colour of all sex toys. Let's get the hell out of here. Not all sex toys. You know, some people prefer a stylish jet black look to their dildies. What was I talking about? It's not my fault. That's what all of that was leading up to me saying. The combat shite. This isn't a weapon. The assault rifle didn't fire. And when I tried to select what looked like an ammo clip, that just deselected everything. I'm saying I'm dying because the game's shit. What was that? I picked up a yellow thing. A spear? What's that? How's that an attack? Arms can't do what that arm's doing. Then again, what? Who? How? No! Not while I've got a Oh, this is bollocks. This is horse's atrium. Alright, well, I've got a fucking shitty fucking twig. My idea today was to deliberately pick a game. Like, normally I just pick, like, the first thing that looks interesting, or that looks like I'll make a fun video out of. Which may make a... What? You just appeared out of nowhere! That may include a shitty-looking game, may include a brilliant-looking game. Today I deliberately went with one that looked like the game itself wouldn't be much cop, so that I could talk about Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Because I can't show any footage of Deus Ex Mankind Divided until launch day. But I can't review it yet because they gave me a review copy last night. And... oh god, stop, get out of the way. And that's clearly not enough time. You know. Even if I wanted to do a... you know... play for as long as I'm confident. Although I do want to really get to the end credits on this one before I review, if at all possible. But the point is that I was going to talk about Mankind Divided here, because I can share all my opinions, I just can't show any footage until next week. But this game has been so alarming and distracting that I'm not getting my Trojan impressions out there. The point of it is, and that was the wrong way to start a sentence. Oh, there's another zombie. They don't even attack. Deus Ex Mankind Divided's pretty good though so far, from my early impressions, from having played it, since last night and today. Not confident enough to give, fully realised critique, but I've got to echo the general sentiment I've been picking up from others that have been playing it, that it is very much more Human Revolution with, added toys and things, which is, of course, by no means a bad thing. I, for one, adored Human Revolution. I think there were a few little bits and pieces you could criticise with it, as you can with any game, no matter how good, but it remains a game that I found myself fully enthralled by as I played it. You know what? I've got to kill one of these fuckers before this is done. Come on. Come on. No. You can't kill him. Not with that combat... Sorry, I was going to call that a combat system. Not with whatever that is that you're doing. Craft things... Look, if I could craft a sword. All I need to do is find a sword hilt growing... Well, not a sword hilt, a sword blade growing in the wild. Undermined my own sarcasm there by saying hilt instead of blade. You make the hilt out of 3 logs, apparently. Hilt's just a great word. It's a better word than blade. I love how every now and then, when I stop running, or if I run for too long, the main character here goes, because that really does symbolise how I feel right now. Another weird thing about Mankind Divided is the removal of the piss filter. Now, I was just talking about that on Twitter before I started recording here. People give piss filters a lot of flack, and most of the time, I think that flack's justified. I think the original pissy-looking filter they gave Doom ran contrary to what I feel the series' best visual elements are, which is sort of a real nice contrast of blues and greens and reds. And it just made everything look murky and less lively. However, the filter that they had on Human Revolution, I keep mixing the names up. The filter they had on Human Revolution, where it had this, to quote the famous song by my old buddy Miracle of Sound, the black and gold look to it. His song was called The New Black Gold, I think. Can't exactly remember now. I think I may have just fucked up giving Gavin a shout out. Sorry, Gavin, if you do watch this. I don't know if he watches these or not. I know he watches the Jimquisition. I don't know if he bothers watching these. Which is true of most people I know. You know, they watch the Jimquisition. They went. Actually, the PR who sorted me out the review copy of Human Revolution, apparently he enjoys the Jimquisition. He said they'll look forward to Monday's episode even if it's not about Deus Ex. And I said, considering the tone of a lot of episodes, especially lately, especially following last week's episode, maybe Deus Ex not being on the Jimquisition's a good thing. In general, it's not something people ought to be shooting for. In general. Unless they really specify, oh, I hope it's a positive episode. Which I do still want to do more of in future. I do regret that I haven't been able to do more positive ones lately. Got ourselves a helmet. So that doesn't... I think we've got to go into our inventory and maybe drag and drop. There we go. We got ourselves a helmet that seems to have been refashioned from a bowling ball and is soft enough for the top of her horrible head to phase through. Horrendous. Oh god, more zombies in the house. Yeah, it definitely seems like going in a house is a death trap. Look how much health that little bastard took off. Even with my bowling ball helmet. This is Horsey's fucking... I already said atrium. I want to... that's my new thing I've decided just now. I'm going to append various words to the back of horses. I won't be affixing literal things to the literal backs of literal horses. That would be ghastly. I went so far off track with my Mankind Divided discussion there. Because, as I say, the game keeps fucking distracting me. And I'm in a very distracty mood anyway. But to go back to the piss filter, the weirdest thing about Mankind Divided is it doesn't seem to be there. I'm going to go back in the options once I'm done here, because I need to get back to playing it. And to see maybe if there's a filter option. But it's weird because the first starting area, the first city you're in, once you're done with the prologue mission, is a daytime city. It's less Blade Runner, less, cyberpunk-looking city, more like City 17 from Half-Life 2. It's got that, it's set in, it's Prague, and it's full of rundown stuff, and soldiers mistreating orcs, like they're doing that whole thing. And it's taking place at this point during the day, with very normal daytime colours. No filters, no stylistic colouring. It looks, for a Deus Ex game, very mundane, colour-wise. That doesn't mean to say the game doesn't look good graphically. It is a very, very pretty game. And the prologue mission was fairly yellowy and very detail-rich in the environment. It was gorgeous. It's just a shame the prologue mission itself is a bit pants. It starts out very Call of Duty-ish, like you with these soldiers doing stuff, and it wasn't a good intro. Well, nor wasn't a patch on the Human Revolution intro. But once that prologue mission's out the way, you end up in Prague, and then you've got yourself those, the mini city hub type places that you can go and find side missions and stuff in, and little bonus areas, all that familiar jazz. Like I said, it's very familiar to Human Revolution. But yeah, it's so weird not having the gold and dark blacks and browns for the colours as sort of the predominant colour scheme. This game, in contrast, doesn't have a unifying colour scheme, which I find to be a shame, because I do feel like that was an awesome part of Human Revolution. I think it's one of the only games that's taken that classic yellow filter and made it a definitive statement It's a definitive, you know, this reflects the tone of our game, and I feel it did. I feel it actually added to the atmosphere of the game overall. Whereas this one, colour-wise, just looks like any other game. And I don't want to sound like I'm being overly harsh with that, because, as I say, the game still looks really good. There's some, you know, good character design, like the augmented characters, the robotic parts to them still look fantastic. I always loved the way they visually design their augments in Human Revolution and Mankind Divided especially. It's a little hard to say that of the other Deus Ex, the old Deus Ex games, just because graphically it was all very blocky and you couldn't really get much of the detail. But outside of that, and I'm not saying it's bad either, I'm not saying the removal of the filter's bad, I'm saying personally it's a shame, and also it's very weird. It's weird for a game that had such a strong visual identity to have removed that identity, possibly because people were, you know, criticising it. I don't know how critical of it people had been. Yeah, there's a zombie. Had a feeling we were being followed. Nothing I can do about it. I mean, there's nothing I can do about a lot of this game, really. Right now, it has turned into just a shitty walking simulator, which is fine, because it stopped being distracted, so I can, you know, do what I really came here to do and talk about fucking Deus Ex. So there are some new augments to play with, and I've been enjoying those. As someone who is a fan of the non-lethal approach, but not necessarily 100% the stealth approach, I've always preferred, where games allow it, to start stealthy, end big. Like, you use stuff, I do this in Far Cry, and I did this on my first run of Dishonored, before I started going for a full ghost run. Sneak around for a bit to just eliminate threats. Like, just get rid of the most dangerous ones, or guys on the outskirts. Make sure there are no nasty surprises. And then when you've got a good, like enough to put up a fight, but not enough to overwhelm, then Batman the fuck up and kick the door in. And there's stuff in Mankind Divided with the new augments that better facilitate that. One of the great things about Deus Ex was, you know, the fact that it wasn't so binary. It wasn't so, you know, you can only do it sneaky, you can only do it non-lethal, all this kind of stuff. Like, you can always switch up on the fly, and you can also mix and match. You can have a very lethal run that's also a very stealthy run. You can have a non-lethal that's also very violent. And there's options here that really hammer that home. Right now I have 2 augments on Adam. You can deactivate some and overclock. And there's a lot of stuff that I'll fully be able to talk about once I've really tinkered around with it. But right now I've got the Icarus Dash, which is like Dishonored's Blink, and one that I forget the exact name of, but you basically fire little electrified wrist rockets that instantly disable one enemy. And they're ammo-based, and so far ammo's not been plentiful, so it's balanced out. You can't just run around just pa-choo, 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 just zapping everyone. You know, it's like the melee takedowns, where they're really powerful but governed by a battery. This one, the pa-choo, pa-choo, are governed by ammunition. And there's another one that I've not unlocked yet that lets you do like a concussive blast, that I do not believe is ammo-based, but that has a long recharge time. So, you know, swings and roundabouts, your checks and balances. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that I can do my non-lethal yet violent stuff. You can configure certain things to be lethal or non-lethal depending on your choice. Because, of course, going the non-killy route always rewards you more in a material sense with XP and stuff. In general, that's always been the way. And I'm fairly certain... I mean, I've not killed anyone in this run of Mankind Divided, but I'm sure it's the same as it always is, where you get better rewards for the stealthier and the less murderous you are. Which, to be honest, I'm not sure if I've ever liked that, even though I find non-lethal more interesting. I just feel like maybe, you know, you can be equally rewarded for those things, and it won't really hurt anyone. Okay, well, I've got a spear again, and there's a significant zombie horde coming. And I know I've got a visor in my inventory. I didn't forget about that. It's just, I'm worried about ever stopping. Especially because it seems that once a zombie's found you, that's it. They're chasing you throughout the whole fucking map until you die. Maybe they can't jump. I'll put them goggles on. Keep hitting tab for my inventory. That's not the right thing to do. Okay. I don't know if the clothing, if it's just aesthetic or actually has a practical use. What a garish looking game though. It looks tacky colour-wise. And I do not say that lightly because I'm a tacky fucker. Like, I'm the guy, if I see a pair of shoes and they're hot pink, I'm like, that'll go great with my black trousers, because I'll look like the 80s. Like, the black shirt, red tie thing is similar to how I like to dress when I'm at a social engagement. Oh yeah, there's a zombie, what a surprise. Oh, fuck right off. But I normally go with different coloured ties. And my favourite is a like nice hot pink tie that goes with the black. It looks very 1980s. I appreciate that. It's the same group. I think they've been adding to their band as we go. And it's kind of it makes me feel hopeless because I know the only way out of it's death. I know that's the only way we're getting out of this is we're gonna die. Oh well. Anything more I want to say about Mankind Divided at this point in time? Probably. No. I'm liking it. I did a little jokey article because I couldn't do footage and because I couldn't do a review yet. But I wanted to be part of the conversation, goddammit. So I did my hot take on the Jimquisition.com in which I basically just said, yeah, it's alright. Which was a joke based on that being all I could really say at the time. And it wasn't really intended to be an insult. I mean, that's some Deus Ex colouring right there. I think some people were thinking maybe I was really expressing tepidness in my opinion of the game. Like I really wasn't digging it that much. And that we'd be looking at maybe another No Man's Sky situation from me. No, I'm enjoying it better than No Man's Sky. And it's the opposite thing that I had with that. It's when I first started it with that prologue, I was like, holy shit, have they ruined Deus Ex? Is this horrible now? But once I got past that, and now the more I'm playing it, the more I'm getting reacquainted with the control scheme and everything, and the way it works. Because it's, you know, Human Revolution, it was a different game to other, you know, first-person RPG / FPS style games. Had a few subtle differences that did give the game a different feel. And it was a long time ago when I last played it, so getting used again to that sort of gameplay. And I'm still dealing with No Man's Sky muscle memory. I keep hitting R3 to fucking run. and I end up crouching instead, which is no good for anybody. It's a weird control scheme on the PS4 anyway. Triangle to sprint. Triangle to sprint. How about that? And if you're holding a gun and you want to sheath it quickly, you hold the square button on the PS4 controller, but not too long, and then tap the left trigger. If you hold the square button for too long, I just want to see what's at the end of this road. It looks like we're coming to the end. If you hold the square button for too long, it brings up the gun customization menu similar to the one in Crysis. So you've got to just time it right in order to sheath. It's weird. Nothing I won't get used to, but just strange. And yes, I am playing it on the PS4. That's the copy I got from Square Enix, so we're all going to have to deal with that. And as I say, with the spine rupture disc situation I've got, it's better for me to play it there than here. For those sort of extended hours I'm going to be needing to play. So, it is what it is. And, you know, you'll have Total Biscuit or whoever else, your pundit of choice, playing it on PC, I'm sure. And I'll be here with the PS4 version for you. They just spawn out of nowhere. Little fucks. I guess I'm going to wrap up. I'd like to talk about Mankind Divided some more, but I'll save that for the review and the... Hopefully I'll have the review up before launch. If I really put the effort in over the weekend and I get it done, then I'm hoping... I gave up on the bridge. I'll hope to maybe Monday late afternoon, Monday evening, Monday afternoon, something like that. And on launch day, I'll have a Gimpressions video for you to look at and gawk at. So that'd be fun for you. But otherwise, we're just stuck with this fucking game. It's funny though that the PR on that I spoke to on Mankind Divided was a fan of the Jimquisition, considering I only get 50% of Square Enix's games. I'm fairly certain that I'm at least grey-listed by whoever handles the Japanese games, because those I can never get. Whereas, I relatively get the Western Square Enix games fuss-free. I got Just Cause just fine. I got Hitman, which I will be aiming to review once that game's fully out, because I got sick of doing episodic reviews because you run out of shit to say when you're several episodes in. But I couldn't even get Dragon Quest Hero... Well, what was it? Holy shit. The Dynasty Warriors Dragon Quest crossover that I fucking adored and now completely forgot the name of. But yeah, even I, a big Dynasty Warriors fan, I couldn't even get that. They're always at max capacity. They never have enough codes for me, physical or digital. Which I've come to expect, you know. I've talked about that before. It is, now that I'm independent and also have my reputation for not cutting games slack, there are a fair few publishers that don't want to take the risk on me. Even though I have a bigger audience than where I worked, in terms of getting the reviews read, at the very least. But there you go. I've said before, it's not a huge deal. I buy that which I cannot get otherwise. It's just a... God, that's an ugly looking thing. It's just a horrible, weird spider beast. Anyway. With regards to getting Deus Ex later than other people, I think that was my fault, because I was blindsided by the release date, and then we're like, oh shit, I need to actually sort out a review copy of that. But got it now, and like I said, hopefully get that review up soonish in relative terms. Before launch is the aim. Back to this shit then. I'm going to at least maybe have one last hurrah and try and fight a zombie. I noticed that the food and water's going down, but I found no food or water sources. God, this is a pile of shit. I mean, it really is, isn't it? It's a big wanking pile of jizz. Apologise if I've been a bit rambly this episode. I'm in one of those moods where I'm fairly distractible and been up since 4. Funnily enough, I was up since 4, struggling to get some good gameplay footage for Mankind Divided, because I didn't realise there was an embargo on footage until launch. So I was up till 4, wasted many hours trying to get footage together. Had technical problems with the footage. The audio kept desyncing. And by the time I'd finally worked out a workaround for it, I was like, well, shit. Now this footage is useless. Because it can't go up today. I'm going to stop. I am going to stop. I realise there's been that pink arrow the whole time, but I've not been fucking interested in following it. I've not been interested in any of this. I just wanted to talk about Deus Ex. And I've talked about it, so this game served its purpose. Game's a load of shit.